Okay, and next up, we're going to discuss how to connect our database to our project. All right, so go ahead and open up your final project, wherever you saved it. Open up that solution. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and open Form 1 because we want something to happen. We want to go ahead and test if our database can connect or not. First thing we'll want to do when we're dealing with databases, we want to go using system.data.OLEDB. Okay. OLE stands for Object Linking and Embedding. And since we're linking a database to it, we want to go ahead and use that. And what we want to do, let's go ahead and make a string. We're going to call the string S connection. Okay. That string is going to be the connector data we need. I'll show you how to use that in just a second. Okay. We also want to go ahead and make a member of the OLEDB connection class. So OLEDB connection. We're going to call it dbcon, and we want to go ahead and instantiate that class object. So dbcon equals new OLEDB connection, and that connection, it needs passed to it, it needs our connection string, so put S connection in there. And as you can see, what's going to happen now is when we say DB connection, we're talking about a very specific form of the OLEDB connection that uses the S connection string. The string's a interesting part to create. What we want to do is two parts. It's a provider and a data source. The provider in this case is going to be that. This is the creator of our data source, and it's Microsoft. You can find these at access string or connectionstrings.com, and I will show you also in a second how to do it a little easier. But we have that, and our data source needs to be equal to wherever our database is. And the easiest way to do that is to find our database object right here. Go to Properties, and this location right here, copy that up here and paste it right here in these single quotes next to data source. So paste. Okay. Now you'll notice immediately these little red lines pop up. What we need to do is double the amount of these slashes. So because we're dealing with 2 at this very beginning, we want to enter 2 more. When I come here though and only add 1 more, also 1 more, 1 more here, and lastly 1 more here. Okay. The reason we need that is just due to a little quirk in C#. Even in quotes, it'll read a backslash as meaning something else, and we just double it up and it knows that everything's okay. So now we have our connection string fully formed here. And we have our connection string being passed to our DB connection. And we have our DB connection. And next, we're going to do a try catch block because we need to make sure that this works. dbcon dot open exception db accept, and what we want to do is make label register dot text equal to db accept dot message. That way, if anything happens when we load this up, we try to connect to our database, it'll tell us if something goes wrong. Okay, I just made a mistake. We also need to take care of the throw. So delete that. Okay, and now we can press start, turn it up, and as you'll see, there's actually an error right here. This is due to VMware being a little finicky. You need to have special permission to have a program write to something in VMware, but I just wanted to show you that this is the way to make this data source work on any other machine. Now, for our sake though, we have another way. We can actually add a data source directly to the project. So if you click on project, add new data source, database, dataset, okay. We want a new connection. It's going to be a Microsoft Access database file. Okay. Now we want to know the database's file's name, so open it up, desktop, final project test, open, test connection, and it works. Go ahead and click OK. And you can actually check the data string that we made. Works perfectly fine. Now it's going to say if you copy this project, it'll be copied to the directory each time you run the application. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Okay. Save the connection as final test string. Next, and we want all of our tables and all of our views, although we really won't be using views, just do that. Test data set. Finish. And as you can see right here, it's now as part of our data. What we want to do is take away all of this because now our final project test.accdb it is accessed just right there. Let's try pressing start now and making sure that we can connect. As you can see here, the text didn't change, which means our connection went through. Awesome. And let's save, and that is how you work with a connection to a database.